In Wilmington, Delaware, over 60% of third graders cannot read at grade level. It's very common for educators to hear the phrase, "My mom or dad cannot help me with my assignment." Today, a new educational tutoring service called So You Need a Tutor is bringing awareness to families about the importance of literacy by hosting a book and bowl event at the Route 9 Library.
It's an amazing literacy celebration in which we partner with community organizations such as Children and Families First, United Way, A-Sky Enterprises. We just really wanted to impact the community in such a way that we increase literacy. We found that 1 out of 6 adults within the state of Delaware are struggling to read, and as educators we teach students how to read, but we wanted to work with the parents to better equip them with the strategies that they can use at home with their children. So we came up with a book in a bowl. It actually was birthed out of an event that we did with one of my former co-workers who's now one of my tutors, and we really wanted to make sure that the parents knew how important reading was and share with them some short, simple things that they can do at home to build a library, to equip them with the strategies that we're using in the classroom, and to just foster a love for learning and reading at home.
Study after study shows that early reading with children helps them learn to speak, interact, and bond with parents. Reading with kids who already know how to read helps them feel close to caretakers, understand the world around them, and be empathetic citizens of the world.
Today we focused on just really making parents feel comfortable getting into literature with their students, understanding that we have to be vulnerable for our kids in order for us to have the guts to ask them to be vulnerable and reading out loud in class. So really we focused on infusing literacy in everything we do. We talked about having students do post-it parties where they pick a topic. Might be a dog, one young lady came up with. And then we had them all draw their own little dog on their post-it. Then we said, okay, well, let's get a word to describe the dog. And one young lady identified that was an adjective. So then we put those up. Then we told them to write a place, and that was the setting. So they put that all together, and students can use that to actually start off with writing. That's a cool pre-reading activity to kind of get your kids excited about what's coming up. We also talked about really inexpensive ways to make it fun in your house. We talked about creating areas where literacy is easy, where there's books that they're interested in, allowing students to kind of self-guide you to what they're going to be focusing on. We talked about connecting with your students' teachers to kind of reiterate whatever unit it is that they're working on in school. We talked about the dollar store hacks, where you can find anything basically in the dollar store that you can use to learn and teach your kids in the house. And we closed off with 2 strategies. One strategy is called Dice, 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 and there were a few worksheets where students and parents can actually identify what they want each number on the die to represent. So if a student rolls a 1, they might focus on what was the main point of the article. If they roll a 2, it might be give 3 facts from the article. If they roll a 5, that might be their snack break, and they have a little piece that they can pop in their mouth for a break. The final was a flip chart that we made, and you can use it with math, science, social studies, and accommodation for students with exceptionalities or special needs. So really enjoyed myself and was honored to be able to come out with So You Need a Tutor and just really work with parents on talking about how we can make reading fun, how we can create lifelong learners and readers.
So You Need a Tutor is a unique organization in that it operates as an extension to the primary school environment to maximize academic performance.
Anything that we do with So You Need a Tutor is fun and engaging, and that's why we focus on the students' learning styles. So there's visual, there's auditorial, there's kinesthetic, and we make sure that we tie that into today's event. We make sure that the students actually counsel with the parents. So at the end of our sessions, the parents work with the students, and the students actually go and share with the parents, this is what we worked on, this is what I learned, and this is how I can share it with you. So we make sure not only that the students are aware, but that the parents are aware as well.
Research shows that when looking for a children's book to read, both kids and parents want to have fun during the reading and learning process. A Book in a Bowl did just that by offering different techniques to use at home for students in grades kindergarten through 6.
I like to come out to events because I have a first grader. His name is Jameer. And I try to incorporate like fun ways to learn at home and how to keep him interested in learning. So these are great ways to get new games and ideas and stuff to make it more interesting for him to learn.
With third grade being a critical turning point where children go from learning to read To read to learn, it is very important that the foundations of reading are taught to struggling students. So You Need a Tutor steps right in by bridging the learning gap between the student and their parent. Other organizations and nonprofits throughout the state of Delaware, along with the State Board of Education, are continuing to work to improve the student outcomes in early literacy. Reporting in Newcastle, Delaware, Yesenia Taveras, WITN22.